Hi, hello, I'm Sugar. Here's my guide to Normal and Heroic Assault of the Zaqali. This encounter has two phases, starting with Warlord Cagney and several types of adds. The raid will fend off waves of adds that come from the platforms behind and in front of him. If an add reaches the door to his left, Barrier Backfire will place a stacking debuff on the raid that deals ticking AoE damage to all players. In Heroic, this debuff does not expire. Split the raid into two equal groups, each assigned to a platform. Throughout phase 1, Arbalest Fire will throw bolts at the raid, dealing damage to anyone in 12 yards of impact. Begin the fight by using Hero and fighting Cagney where he stands. After about 20 seconds, his bird, Ignara, will pick him up and take him to a platform. During testing, he started on the farther one. When he reaches 100 energy, he'll use Devastating Leap to jump to the opposite side. He'll stand in the middle and shoot out fissures from his impact location. Be ready to dodge. He uses Heavy Cudgel against his active tank. This deals damage in a frontal cone and increases physical damage taken by 15% for 45 seconds to anyone hit. Additionally, from this, he'll drop cave rubble on the ground. Players should pick up these rocks and use them against the adds climbing up the walls of the platforms. Get close to the edge and look for a yellow arrow or orange pillar of fire before using your extra action button to throw the rock. On each platform, a Magma Mystic will spawn. Out of all the adds, this one is the most deadly because of its Molten barrier. This pulses the raid with damage every 4 seconds, and each pulse grants the Mystic Molten Empowerment, increasing its damage by 15% per stack. DPS must burn this mob quickly and interrupt any lava bolts it starts to cast after the shield fades. When it channels Magma Flow, players will be hit with light damage and a 15-second ticking dot. This can be dispelled by healers. There are 3 other types of adds that spawn. The Flambound Huntsman targets random players with blazing spears, surrounding them with a 6-yard circle that drops a spear after a few seconds. Players targeted should spread out and use a personal upon impact. Obsidian Guards deal a burst of damage to all players within 25 yards of them with Scorching Roar. In Heroic, they charge up a volcanic shield that fires a beam of magma at its target, inflicting damage to anyone in its path. The targeted player should stand still while the raid adjusts around them. Finally, the Zaqali Wallclimbers are adds that head straight for the door, and tanks must pick them up to stop them from reaching it. They have no other notable abilities. These waves of adds will repeat until Cagney reaches 25% and phase 2 begins. He'll go back to the door and begin channeling Desperate Immolation. This drains his bird's life force, restoring 10% of his max HP, and pulses the raid with fire damage from Ignara's Fury every 4.5 seconds. Healers will need to rotate CDs around this. His 100 energy ability changes to Catastrophic Slam, a shockwave towards the door that needs to be soaked. In Normal, all players can soak each one. However, in Heroic, groups will need to alternate because of weakened vitality. This makes the soakers vulnerable to the next slam by 75%. If not enough players soak, it will not drain all his energy and trigger a barrier backfire. Lastly, tanks will need to swap every flaming cudgel, another frontal cone, and face it away from the raid group. This also causes all players to erupt in flames, dealing a large burst of damage. Keep a 6-yard spread to avoid taking extra damage. That's everything you need to know for this fight. Don't forget to check out my TLDR and the Ember album in the description for all the boss guides I've created so far. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, please consider liking and leaving a comment. I would love to hear from you and create more boss guides that you'll find useful. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye!